Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome everyone. This is the second segment of the sequence, The Extended Inner Smile, which is part of the journey, The Resilience of Love, and is offered by the School of Ecosexual Love. This second sequence of the Extended Inner Smile is called the WaterWheel, and I will explain that in a minute. I am Dr. Serena Gaia, also known as Serena Anderlini, and I am here to explain a little bit and demonstrate to you this segment. So the WaterWheel in the Extended Inner Smile practice comes after the segment that is focused on activation and opening the channels, the energy channels that exist within our bodies. So this WaterWheel practice is designed to create a more dynamic balance of the four elements within our system. These elements being earth, air, water, and fire. These elements exist in our bodies, and by doing this practice of the WaterWheel, we create a more dynamic balance, especially between fire and water, which are very important elements, right? And they can move around more quickly. So why do we want this more dynamic balance? So if you consider our body in the bodies of mammals, and including our species, our human species, the fire is usually, the seat of fire is usually here in the heart, right? That's where the passion is. That's where the main pump that keeps us alive is working, is right there in the heart. It's the seat of passion. It's the seat of fire. Okay, and then in the lower parts, in the lower abdomen, we find the bladder, we find the kidneys, and that's where all the liquid parts of our bodies are filtered, and then the ones that we don't want are expelled. So according to the Tao, there is a bit of an imbalance in the way they're positioned. In other words, they need to circulate in order to really interact with one another. And one of the jokes that really helps understand why this is so if this is the fire and down here in the crutch is the water, if you put the fire above the water, says Mantak Chia, the master of Tao that I learned this from, you're going to wait a long time for your tea. In order to get your tea, you have to put the water above the fire and perhaps put some metal between so that the metal can hold the water and the fire can heat it up. So with this movement, it's just a cyclical movement that really activates all of our limbs and the spine and our system, we create a more dynamic balance of these elements so that the vital energy circulates more freely. And this second segment is really the step prior to what we will do after, which is the inner smile proper. So this is a rebalancing of the elements within our ecosystem, whereas when we go to the inner smile proper, we actually connect each organ with the planetary forces that are related to it, with the colors that are related to it, and also with the negative and positive emotions that are related to it. So the WaterWheel is a bit of a preamble to the inner smile proper. So if you'll follow me, I will demonstrate for you the movement along with the breathing. Thank you. Okay, so we come here, we come into the basic position, of balance. Feet are a little bit more open than the hips, knees a little flexed but softly, and then butt just perpendicular on the heels, belly, abdomen is pulled in, shoulders are open, and the arms form this embracing circle with the pinkies and the thumbs open to open well these energy fields over here. So we breathe in this position, we go back and forth, we fall but not fall, fall but not fall forward, fall but not fall back, and we find our balance and our rootedness in this very stable, very grounded position that is the basic position of the Tao. So I will demonstrate the position, the movement first, and then we will add the breathing. So how do we start the movement? We start with our arms folded like this. We look at the palms of our hands. And then quickly we go down as far as we can. Okay? We go down quickly and then we bounce back up. And as we bounce back up, we extend our arms and open up our chest. And we look behind as much as possible, just extending our arms and stretching our spine to curve on the back side. Okay. And when we go down, instead our spine will flex in the opposite position direction, so that basically we have like a serpentine movement with our spine. And everything really follows from there. Remember from segment 1, the governor channel, in a way with this water wheel movement, we are allowing the governor channel to reorganize the elements in our inner ecosystem, especially in the organs. So the way we do it is we go down very quickly and bounce back up. I'm not perfect at it, so I do what I can and you do the same. And we open up as much as possible. And then we come back with our arms here. And then we start a new cycle. Okay? So quickly down. And up. So basically with this movement of coming up from down is when we bring up the water that is located in this area and we allow it to really inundate all of our inner ecosystem. Okay? And when we go down, first we push our fire down. So we're going to do this again, and then we will add the breathing. I am doing the breathing, but I want to demonstrate it to you also. So again, position, down, and up. And if it's easier for you to open up your legs a bit more so that you can come down in a more centered way, that's good too. So now the breathing. When we go down, we really, we breathe out. We breathe out, strongly, okay, powerfully. We push the air out, we blow the air out. And when we come up, we gradually start breathing in. And basically the main breathing in happens when we come here. Here we breathe in as much as possible. We open the lungs, we flex back in the back side, and then we come back here. Okay, so now I'm going to do it a couple more times just to demonstrate the movement, and then I will emphasize the breathing. Starting like this position. And so mainly the time when I breathe in is from here to here. And when I recollect my arms, I start exhaling a bit, but not much, because then I fully exhale when I go down. Okay? So these are done usually in sequences of 9, and my practice is to do 27. So I will do that for you, and if you want to follow me, then you can also do 27 or however many you want to do. Okay, so we start like this. And you'll see that the movement, as the system starts moving, then the movement improves also in quality, because it's easier to go down and bounce back up. And of course, this is very good for all our vertebrae that start really playing with one another as if they were an accordion, flexibility of our spine. Okay, so we start like this. Go for the first 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will pause for a moment and want to direct your attention to the fact that as I keep doing it, it's much easier for me to go down with my butt closer to the floor and bounce up. It's like the system becomes more elastic, more flexible as we use it. And that's really the value of this movement. And also it becomes easier for me to really extend my arms and look back. Just flex my spine to where I can look behind me. So these are the 2 emphases and 2 of the reasons why it goes in sequences of 9 so that we repeat it. And notice again the breathing down, pushing down the air, exhaling strongly as I go down, then almost no breathing until I come up here, and here very deep inhaling into the lungs until I keep opening. And then when I start closing, I can exhale but very slightly so that I still have a lot of air to push down when I go down. Okay. And I start now. Four, 5, 6, 8, 9. I'll go for the next sequence. Three, 5, and 6, And I breathe deeply. I go back into the basic position. I connect with this activation of elements in my inner ecosystem, how this really has brought a certain dynamic equilibrium among water and fire. And I smile to my inner ecosystem. I look at all the movement, the effervescence within. And then I come back. And our next video, now we are all set to do the inner smile proper. So if you follow us to the next video, you will practice how this inner ecosystem that has been so well prepared by segment 1 and segment 2 with activation, stretching, and dynamic balance of elements is now going to transmute negative energies into positive energies by connecting with each planet and a special particular organ that is related to it, particular color and a particular element, and the kinds of emotions that are typically stored in each organ, both the negative ones and the positive ones. So it will be a recycling of emotions that will conclude or almost conclude our process of really keeping a positive, creating and sustaining a positive energy field within our personal ecosystem, which is one of the main goals of the resilience of love. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next video.